Welcome to T5. I'm Alex Marston. Today's our first show, and I'm really excited. This is going to be a show about film. It's going to be a show about discussing film. So often we have shows that are about new releases and shows that are devoted only to what's current, and that's great. But this show is going to be a show about discussing the films that we already love, that we already know, and going back over the unique things that films we've seen in the past mean to us and where they exist in our lives. So that's what the T5 stands for. Each week on this show, we're going to discuss a few films, and then we're going to have a top 5 list that kind of coincide with what that discussion's about, you know. So if we are talking about a movie that's really focused on cars, our list might be the top 5 best car chases of all time. It might be even something more unique, the best witty banter shows of all time, the best gritty gunslinger shows of all time, something like that. And the hope would be that you'll see my top 5, and then in the video comments or the comment section, you'll add your comments. Just because I like 5 movies, just because I've seen 5 movies, doesn't mean I'm the authority. And this is a show where I'm hoping to open up the conversation each week about what your top 5 favorite for this category might be. So, what we're going to start with today is a new release. It's a movie by Tim Blake Nelson. You probably know him best from O Brother, Where Art Thou? He's a very accomplished actor, a very accomplished director, and he both wrote, directed, and is starring in this new movie, Leaves of Grass, which is also starring an excellent comedic cast. You have Edward Norton playing both Edward Norton and his twin brother in kind of a Nicolas Cage adaptionist kind of twist there. Kerry Russell, Susan Sarandon, and Richard Dreyfuss all also star. It's a movie about a guy who kind of left his small town southern home to become a very accomplished classics professor, and when his brother back home stages his own death, Edward Norton's character goes home and only to find that he's still alive. They kind of reconnect, but it looks very funny. I love Kerry Russell. I don't know what it is about her. She hasn't had a huge career since Felicity, but she's had a really fun career. And almost, I don't know what it is about her, but in every trailer, you can see chemistry between her and the leading man, and I think it's just because she seems so unique and so genuine, and I just always get excited when I see her in a movie. Edward Norton's also great. Richard Dreyfuss is always great. So I think it's going to be a really kind of fun movie. And in the sidebar, I'll put a link to the trailer for that. So that's coming out in a few weeks, and you should definitely be checking that out. Next up is the remake of True Grit. Okay, personally, I'm excited for this movie because I grew up on the original. I grew up with John Wayne as Rooster Cogburn, and it was just always one of my favorite Western movies. So when I heard they were making a remake, I was just immediately excited. I got more excited when I found out the Coen brothers were directing. From there, it just gets better. Jeff Bridges is signed on to play Rooster Cogburn. You have Matt Damon picking up where Glenn Campbell left off as LaBeouf. Then you have an interesting newcomer. Her name's Haley Steinfeld, and she's only 14 years old. The original girl character was still young, but kind of in that 18 to 20 age, and there was a lot of kind of banter between her and her male leads. So I think it's an interesting move to make her so much younger. I'm wondering if it's in a move by the Coen brothers to try and make this, you know, their signature more real, No Country for Old Men. He's more of a father figure, Rooster is, than in the original True Grit. And then Josh Brolin is signed on. There's no word as to what character he might be playing, but he is signed on. So it'll be interesting to see where he kind of fits into that category. So, to go right into our top 5. Our top 5 of this week, in respect to Leaves of Grass, is going to be the best family Southern movies that have to do with the familial culture in the South. So my top 5 picks are Big Fish, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, The Long Hot Summer, Fried Green Tomatoes, and To Kill a Mockingbird. People might say To Kill a Mockingbird is more of a law kind of film and more of a film about Gregory Peck, but I think there's a real big heart there, and I think that's why it's a classic. Some ones that didn't make the list, but maybe they should have, was Steel Magnolias, and tell me what you think about Gone with the Wind. It almost made the list, but is it really a family movie, or is it just more about Scarlett O'Hara? Let me know what you think. Coming up, Netflix, my top 3 Q for this week is going to be Broken Embraces with Penelope Cruz. Really excited. Didn't get a chance to see it in the theaters, so it was the first one on my DVD queue. Ponyo by Miyazaki. Saw it several times in theaters. I love Miyazaki. He's one of my favorites. And this was an interesting film for him to do and a fun film for him to do. I'll be excited to see it again. I'll wonder what else to think when I see it on the DVDs. And I got True Grit. I did, just to, catch up with it and see this original again. So, leave a comment below. What are your top 5 favorite Southern family movies? And what's in your Netflix queue? All right, have a good week, guys.